What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of 2070Q alongside that man right there, the
We
dapper
here, baby.
two-time Super Bowl champ, former great running back of the New York Football Giants, Brandon Jacobs. I'm Rich Quinones. We appreciate everyone always keeping us locked in. We already had last night, Tuesday shows up and about on Twitter and YouTube and Buzzsprout, getting a lot of good feedback on that one. NBA kicked off last night with the double dip late game Lakers and Golden State. Week 7 right around the corner in the NFL. We'll kind of eye up the big man's thoughts on Saquon and the NFC East, and then we'll get your best 5, if you will, from our good friends over at spookyexpress.com. But big man, how are you?
I'm doing great, Rich. Great day to be myself, should I say. We had team picture today. As you can see, I got on my coach's shirt. My team pictures with my guys with St. Francis Knights. I made the whole group look good, Rich, by the way. You had all them kids up there, they was fresh out of class and they, sleeves and stuff was all sticking out from underneath jersey. And I show up with my natural look.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
you roll out of bed. How hard is it? You roll out of bed and
Rich,
you touch it up a little bit. You clean shave it.
Rich, it's the absolute easiest thing I've ever done in my life to look this good. You understand me? It's easy to look this good. If you don't look this good, if it ain't easy to look this good, you just don't have it.
Hey, listen, I guilty as charged. I don't know what to tell you. But I like it. Decked out, real nice. That's good team camaraderie, and the pitchers get the young guys understanding. You got to play the part, right? You got to start.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Play the part. 40 years old, man. 40 years old. I don't know if I look at it now, but I feel good.
When you guys went on road trips, was there certain wardrobe required?
Oh yeah.
Well, I would imagine so with Coughlin.
Rich, these guys used to come so spiffy. They used to come with 3-piece suits and all that stuff, man. We used to have to wear a suit and tie. Only time we didn't have to wear a tie if we was going West Coast. Didn't mix the ties. If you're going West Coast, you don't have to wear it, but you had to put on the suit. But you came back in your sweatsuit, what the team gave you.
Why didn't you have to wear it? Because of a longer trip?
I have no idea. That was Coach Coughlin rules. We never asked him why. We just did.
Who was you said 3-piece suits? Who had the flashy? Who looked?
Oh man,
apart?
Antrell Rose used to be real spiffy. Deion Grant used to be real spiffy. Michael Strahan, obviously. Osi Umenyiora was a good dresser. Aaron Ross was a good dresser. We had a lot of guys, man. A lot of guys looked really good when they dressed up. When we were leaving the facility to get on that plane to travel somewhere, a lot of them guys looked like they had money.
Yeah, I for some reason I think Kavika Mitchell probably was.
Kavika Mitchell was a good dresser as well.
Yeah, but I can see him almost looking like a pimp though. He had that hair, man.
The hair,
right? But like in a good way.
Dresser as well. Yeah, we had some guys that was real spiffy. I think we probably could have won the Super Bowl in that too. But me, you know what they call me, Rich? They call me a limousine driver because I go in a black suit with the white shirt on underneath with the black tie. They call me a limousine driver.
That's why you mocked me about a month ago when I had my
right. I told you that.
All right. I thought you were telling me to maybe try to get another profession or something. NBA last night tipped off. You had the double dip. You had the Boston Celtics and the Sixers, and then you had the Lakers and Golden State. And let me just say this first with the late game. The Lakers are an old team, man. And I think they're going to have a boatload of issues. Already you're hearing Westbrook, put up some good numbers. I think 19 points in 31 minutes, complaining about coming off the bench with his hammy, getting pulled and whatnot. I don't know how you can rely every night again on LeBron and AD. Golden State, for my money, is probably going to be the top team coming out of the West. I love the Clippers as well. And then you saw Boston last night. Boston is an extremely deep team. They got some young big-time playmakers, Brown and Tatum. What were kind of your takeaways?
I mean, to be honest with you, going to the Philadelphia-Boston game, it was just a major difference in the teams.
Yeah.
Just sitting, looking and, going through some of the stuff and seeing, I mean, they had, 1, 2, 3, they had 5 5 guys in double digits. You know, they have 6 guys in double digits last night. The team looked like, you know, Boston can score with the best of them.
Yeah.
You know, Philly just looked, you know, a little bit. I don't know if they just looked discombobulated, you know, last night. But, you know, again, I'm going to say the leader is Joel Embiid. He scored 26 last night. He was right at 50%. You know, Harden scored 35 last night. He was 9 of 14. You know, he was 64% from the, you know, from the floor. They shot 24, 28 free throws, 85% with that. They have 14 turnovers, which is not that bad, you know, 14. They shot 38% from behind the 3-point line. And,
Which is,
you know,
the NBA, you live and die with the three, right? I mean, if your points aren't coming from the perimeter, you have to figure out a way to get to the line. But they got the 1-2 punch. It's Harden, it's Embiid, it's Maxey. I just think Boston, Brooklyn, I know I mentioned the Nets here about a week or so ago.
mhm.
You know, Brooklyn is such an interesting animal, man, because they got their quote big three, right? They got Kyrie, they got KD, and they've got Simmons. And
Is
it's
Ben
just,
Simmons going to play this year, though? Does he want to be in Brooklyn? Like, we got to answer these questions. We got to ask the question, a hard question that, you know, we got to really address the elephant in the room. Does he really want to play in Brooklyn? Does he really want to play with KD and Kyrie? Did they trade him there because he actually beat they just said, we trade you? Because stuff he pulled last year without even dribbling the ball for Brooklyn was, I think that was downright absurd for him to go and do that. And I think he was okay. I'm not sure how bad he was really hurt, but he never even played once.
He never played. He never played. He wanted out of Philadelphia. Listen, when he decided to not go up for that dunk against the Atlanta Hawks in the playoffs game at home, he was reluctant to shoot, and everyone was talking about, you don't need to shoot. You can facilitate, you can penetrate, you can dish, you can do other things. He, like last night when we talked about taking the ball and going home. So now he's with Brooklyn, and you're right. I mean, I don't know. Like, if you're Kevin Durant, remember? We talked about this. Kevin Durant in the offseason, he wanted a trade. You know, Kyrie last year with the whole COVID issue, missing games at home, that kind of crippled that team come playoff time. And then, as you alluded to, Simmons, man, it's kind of like, again, what we said with Brady. You're all in or you're not. That's a talented team. But to me, if the three of them are not engaged and on the floor at the same time, it's going to be another implosion. And that's unfortunate, man, because you got two players that are still in their prime, and you got, well, and really three, and a very young player in Simmons that you don't know what you're going to get mentally. I mean, to me, it just seems like a disgruntled wide receiver or running back who doesn't get his touches or his catches. I mean, how do you make that work?
I don't know how you make that work with KD. Ball dominant. I'm gonna say he's ball dominant. I'm gonna say Kyrie as well as a facilitator. With Kyrie, I think he's done great at going to getting his points where he can. Now he does end up look like he shoots a lot, but I don't think Kyrie shoots the ball as much. You know, I think he's more of a guy to go and get it to crash down and dish it out for an open shot or draw a foul or something like that. I don't think he shoots the ball as much as his points may show that he have. I mean, he has a high. I think he's over 50% on his career with his field from the floor. So I think Kyrie can play with anybody. I just don't know if that's going to work with Simmons and KD. But again, we're going to see. Like, we're going to find out tonight. You know, I think
it's tough to gauge it. I mean, you bring up a good point, because the NBA season is a long season, and you're just trying to weather the storm and get into the playoffs, because it's a big time grind. But you know, you can get yourself in a hole. Like, see, going back to the West Coast for a moment with the Lakers, they've got the Clippers tomorrow night. The Clippers are a stacked team, man. If you got a healthy Kawhi and George, and you've got, you know, John Wall, you've got depth, you've got Covington, you've got shooters. On paper, they look fantastic. It's just a matter of, can they put it all together on the floor at the same time? The Lakers, to me, I don't even know. You know what I can equate the Lakers to? Remember
was there.
the year you guys won the Super Bowl. 2011. Remember how the Eagles proclaimed themselves to be the dream team? They spent
Mhm.
all the money, and they brought in Young as a backup and Asamoah and made all these moves, and then it kind of blew up in their face. And I thought the signature win that year was when you guys went on the road. You had the long touchdown on the wheel route. That's when we saw the emergence of Victor Cruz with the 2 touchdowns and the salsa
Mhm.
dance and everything. And boom, there you go. I think that's where the Lakers are. I think the Lakers decided we're going to try to just keep assembling with some older heads, try to get as much as we can with LeBron. But just because these names were great back in the day, i.e. Westbrook per se, and a couple of years ago with Melo, it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
I think, Rich, this year, I think this is one of the last years that Russell Westbrook, I think, will have opportunity to get some jury. And I still got the Lakers winning it all, regardless of what a lot of people may say.
You have the Lakers winning it
I got the
all?
Lakers winning it all. I do. I have the Lakers winning it all. I mean, they got the best player. They got the best player. They got LeBron James. LeBron James can score when he want to score. He can do exactly what he want to do on the court whenever he wants to do it. Can't nobody stop him.
Yeah, but their perimeter defense sucks.
But I was just talking to one of my homeboys about this who went to Georgetown, played basketball at Georgetown. He said nobody plays defense in the NBA anymore. Nobody plays. Like Golden State got guys like Wiggins. They can't expect Poole to go play defense. Curry doesn't play any defense.
But
None of those guys play defense. So everybody gonna have that one guy. Like the Lakers got Pat Bev. He's gonna be the guy who they probably gonna put on a ball dominant guy on the other team. To play some defense. Don't nobody play defense in the NBA anymore.
I get what you're saying, and I agree. Playoffs, half court offense, yes, they do play defense. The only thing I'll say to combat that is Golden State, if Golden State's down 13-3, you blink 3 3-pointers in a row and they're right there. Like that's the difference with those teams. I think the Clippers are one of those teams. The Boston Celtics could be one of those teams. The Lakers, man, you now all of a sudden, the Clippers to me can go small ball because now if you're playing the Lakers and you want to draw out Davis, all of a sudden it's opening up the lane, man. They're going to have so many outside opportunities and shooters. That's why I think the Lakers defensively, they really didn't address that. Westbrook's not a defensive minded player. He's not. He's not.
Yeah, you're right.
And Davis is a rim protector.
But who? He's what?
You need a rim protector.
Yeah, I don't think they have that. But they don't have a rim protector. If they have a rim protector, it'll be LeBron, and he plays the floor. He plays everywhere.
Right. So my point is, you bring Davis out on the perimeter, you eliminate that. You're leaving LeBron on an eye. He can't do everything. I don't even think the Lakers make the playoffs.
Rich, that's BS. I will bet you another stake on that. I'll bet you another stake on that.
We'll double up. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a very long season. And
wait.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if I want to double up because that's a long time to wait to get my slab of beef. It's a long time. I'm thinking about coming up to Jersey, New York, when the season's over for my 12-win Giants, and get my first steak. That second steak got to be a different one.
That's fine. Well, that's fine. Oh, that's the city steak. All right, I got it. That you gotta open up the wallet on that one. Yeah, I got you. I know where you're going with that one. Do you make
Rich, you can even know.
Yeah.
You can even go to the grocery store, buy a steak, and I'll come to your house and eat it. You can even do that. That's fine. It's just got to be a good cut.
No, hey, actually, there's good places right outside AC too. Some of the casinos have some good steak. You like Kobe?
Let's do that.
Kobe steak? Kobe beef?
Yeah, let's do that. That's fine. I'll fly into Philly and come into AC.
All right. Or I can make. I was going to say I can make the trek to Georgia. I actually, I might be swinging down south. I might have something brewing in Carolina. So if I hit Carolina,
I'll meet you.
There you go.
I'll meet you.
That's a done deal.
But back to my Lakers. I can't say my Lakers. I'm not a fan. I'm just a fan of Westbrook and LeBron.
Yeah.
Right. And I want Westbrook to get a ring. But I think, the Lakers last night. I mean, they shot the ball. Everybody other than Westbrook was under 50%, and with their field goals. Westbrook was 58%. They think they lost by like 14 points. They turned the ball over 21 times. It was
That's
19 for
bad.
25. Yeah, they can't do that.
Yeah.
Free throws, they were 43%. I mean, I'm sorry, not 43%. They were 76% shooting free throws. I think it was 19 for 25. I think they'll be okay down the stretch if they can last, if they can stay healthy. Bunch of
That's
old bodies,
huge.
I don't look for them to have AD at the end of the season. I really don't. I really don't look for them to have AD to be there at the end of the season. He's been, kind of like light bulb glass, kind of like
Yeah.
that. He
It's kind
breaks
of
and
like Zion, right? You want Zion to be healthy and on the floor to see what he has. Yeah, I'm just not seeing. I think the Western Conference is stacked. And I personally, if this goes south, you can see Westbrook being dealt. I mean, you can see it. And I don't make too much about, Bev trying to rally them and Westbrook kind of off to the side. I mean, the guy's been in the league for how many years now? He doesn't need to listen to him.
But where does he
I
go,
think,
Rich?
what's
Where
that?
does Westbrook go from here? Where does Westbrook go from here? I think he's on his. How long has he been in? Third what?
I
In the
think this
NBA?
is his 14th year.
13, 14, or something like that. Where does he go from here? He still plays the game aggressively. He's slow. If we can get Westbrook to slow down a little bit on offense, I think he'll be okay if he take his time. I still don't think there's a player out there that can stand in front of him and stop him from getting to the rim.
It's not his game though. You know that. It's not his game, right?
Yeah, he's definitely a slasher. He's that guy that that's gonna go out, be aggressive, try to dunk on you. Gonna make some things happen.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens throughout the season for the Lakers and actually Golden State. They got a couple guys on their team. I'm looking forward to seeing what Poole do. He got a new contract.
Yep.
I think Draymond Green had like 6 points. It seems like he's a better fighter than what he is a basketball player. So let's go from there, man.
And you still got Thompson and you got Curry, the best shooter in the league. So good stuff on that. Don't forget spookyexpress.com. They have a lot of these games, betting previews and whatnot. We'll do the NFL. So good opening drive. All right. Speaking of the NFL, and by the way, Pods up on the Phil 6-4 right now. Yanks later, game 2 of the NLCS, game 1 of the AL CS. I was thinking about this. So I went back and I was looking at some of the seasons when you played, and the Giants had these really good starts, right? 2009, 5-0, 2010, 6-2, 2006, you guys were 6-2. And I thought you guys were an extremely complete team. And then that freaking meltdown against the Titans. That was the whole, I guess it was was it the not sacking Young? Was it
You're not sacking. It was Kiwanuka. Kiwanuka.
And then
grabbed him. That was his rookie year. Grabbed him and let him go. He thought he was down. He thought he blew the whistle.
Yeah.
He didn't want to, get a flag or anything, so he let him go. And yep.
And everything kind of went south. So I think those teams were ridiculously more talented, obviously, than this Giants team. But I know we talked a little bit about it yesterday. You go to Jacksonville, they've got a secondary, a passing defense that gives up about 240. They're a little more stout on the run. Do you think the game plan is to try to force feed Saquon early to try to open it up? Because it's like, walk me through this for a minute. Why
I'm going to walk you
sometimes?
through it. I'm going to walk you through the New York Giants. The way to stop the Giants, the way to try to stop the Giants anyway, which is why a lot of these guys that you don't know of about as far as wide receivers are making plays. They're playing man coverage on them. They bring an extra guy down in the box to stop Saquon, which is who they think that's all they got. So that's what they're doing. They're gonna bring the safety down. They're gonna play some sort of two shell over, bring a safety down, and sometimes tilt the strength with the extra guy, and they're gonna try to stop Saquon. They're gonna force Dane Jones to make throws to wide receivers who a lot of people doesn't even know, which has been working for us. A lot of people play the Giants like that. People have been playing the Giants like that for the last 3 weeks. So we're gonna see. I mean, they're gonna force Saquon Barkley to be Daniel Jones to be the guy to beat him, and I don't see no issue with that.
But do you? I guess my question is, when you played and you're even if, you're not getting yours or Ahmad's not getting him, or, early in your career with Tiki or Derek, as a fan, you watch the game and you're like, man, why do they keep running the football? This defense is stout. They're picking up 1, 2. Is it of the belief that eventually you can soften them up? Eventually you might have that back to break one?
Yeah, I mean, they set a tech a defensive style to stop us, right? To stop the run, to stop the run, to stop the run, to stop the run. We got to keep running to keep them doing that, so we can have our plan. People like what people don't think that we didn't know coming into the week that they was going to try to load the box to stop the run. We
Yeah.
knew we was going to win on the outsides with Plexico and some of the other guys. We knew we was going to have to do that. So in order to keep them doing that, to keep them there so we can stick to our plan, we got to keep running the football so they can stay playing us the way they're playing us on the outside. That's all.
Yeah.
That's a part of it.
I still believe they need a number one wide receiver.
I agree.
And I'm wondering,
a guy like Hopkins would be great coming to New York.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple names out there, and again, I don't know how much we put into this, but the name's been flown around. The kid from Pittsburgh, Claypool.
Oh,
I mean, here's my question to you: if you're the Giants, and this new regime has no ties to Kadarius Toney, would you consider trading him at the deadline?
The kid's dynamic.
That's yeah, I think you just said it. Like, that's the problem. But he's never available, man.
He's never available. Yeah. To get that number one, that what you need, the first round draft pick. I don't know, man. It's hard to say I can trade Tony, because if Tony's healthy, he brings so much to the table.
And by the way, there's
healthy, but he just haven't been.
Him and Galladay are still out, and they're unlikely to play Sunday. Dayball said Tony will not be placed on the IR. Quote, he's getting better. If they think, if you're not going to place him on the IR, then they believe he's going to come back. It's just, when do you kind of cut ties? When do you say, this guy's not available? And if we believe we can contend this year, or maybe win the division, get to the playoffs, and we can get a young player, let's go out and get him.
When they could, no why nothing's being done or said too much now. 5-1. They're 5-1 with the roster being exactly the way it is, with the availability of the players that they do have. Once, if they weren't 5-1, they'll be trying to find a way to get some more, get some more explosive players on that roster. I mean, that's just what it is. If you're winning, there's no need to fix anything. The guys are hurt. They're hurt. There's nothing no one can do about that, right? And I don't think it'll be a tremendous difference in them having them anyway. It's just the Giants' offense is just an ugly offense right now, and and they're winning, and they're 5-1, and I'll take it. As long as we can keep playing defense like we're playing defense, and Daniel Jones is not getting us beat or not beating us, I think we'll be fine.
How many wide receivers on the Giants do you think have over 200 yards?
None of them shouldn't have over 200 yards.
So Richie James has 189. Saquon has 155. I can't count Shepard, but he had 154. I like the Bellinger kid. I like the tight end.
Yeah, I like him too.
139. Yeah.
He's done a great job of occupying the middle of the field.
But by the way, speaking of tight ends, why that game the other day? It just seems historically the Giants always have problems covering tight ends, man.
It's done because Jason Witten killed us.
Ertz for years. Yeah, Selleck, Witten.
The time I played, Tony Gonzalez killed us. We always got killed by tight end for whatever reason. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just a defensive scheme or not, but they typically have pretty good games on us.
All right, so midway point, let's just say they get the win in Jacksonville. And I think they're going to have to cause some turnovers and play field position. Right now, the Jags 2.5, 3-point favorite. So again, the game kind of worries me. I don't want them to force the issue to Saquon, but I get what you're saying, because eventually that 2, 3, 4 can become 55, 60, 65, right? if the holes open up. So let me give you some names right now. Speaking of Saquon, second in the league in rushing behind Chubb, first total scrimmage yards. Yeah. So McCaffrey, Henry, Aaron Jones, Cook, Jacob, Sanders, Chubb, Mixon, and then Saquon. So we're seeing he keeps trending up, right? So let's just I think you said a month ago 13 plus 100 yards. You might have even said more, right around 8 to 10 touchdowns. I said 1,200 plus 500, 1,700 total. I think you had about 1,800 total. He's trending towards that. I mean, you go 12 or 13 for 3 years, 35 million, 39 million, 40 million. Is he a 15 million a year running back?
A year?
Yeah. Give him 25 guarantee. Is he a 12 million a year running back?
Yeah. He should be the highest paid running back in the NFL, I think.
Well, now you're looking at what? I mean, I'd have to go look at what was Henry's contract.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't go off of what has happened in the past statistically because obviously Saquon was hurt, but now he's playing. He's second in the league in rushing and first in all-purpose yards, right? So he's a more complete back than some of those guys that you named. That you got. Now, Nick Chubb is an absolute monster. I love watching him play. There's no doubt about it. Him and Kareem Hunt. I'm a fan of both of those guys. But I gotta say, I think Saquon is better than Zeke, and I think he's better than McCaffrey. I think he's better than both of those guys, and they're making what per year?
Right around that. I mean, Zeke's contract's pretty high. McCaffrey and Elliott are two of the highest. Henry's salary went from 12 million to 14 million. They reworked his contract, remember, too. Man, see, my dilemma with that would be, okay, 1,800 yards, 12 touchdowns, Giants make the playoffs. We see that explosive. This is Aaron. By the way, when he had to cut against a grain in London, that's when I kind of went back and I watched it several times and I was like, this kid is back. Are you paying him, as you alluded to, based on what he's done this year, or what you believe he can do if healthy going forward?
No, you want him to do what he's doing now, do that consistently for the next 4 or 5 years. That's hard to do as a running back. That's really hard to do, which is why most times they don't get the money that they deserve to get. And I just don't know. I don't know if the regime that was at the Giants when I played for the Giants just wasn't going to pay a running back that type of money. It just wasn't. I thought I was better than Marion Barber. But Marion Barber got a 6-year, $42 million contract with 18 or 19 million of it guaranteed. I thought I was better than him, and I didn't get that.
Didn't your agent step in and tell you you're not, that money's not on the table?
He told me it wasn't on the table. He told me it wasn't on the table. But I think I was better than Marion Barber at the time when he got the deal.
Yeah.
He got that deal. So I'm like, shit, I want the same deal or better because I'm better than him. I'm better than him. So, but the Giants, I want to stay in New York. The Giants just wasn't trying to pay it. Like, they screw the market, whatever the market was, we're going to give you this. And that was that. And I had a few more teams that jumped out, and then they franchised me when that started to happen. When talk started happening about teams like the Saints, teams like Philly, teams like Miami started to jump out there, and they started hearing certain things, and they franchised me and said, "Nope, you ain't going nowhere."
Can you explain this? Can you walk me through it, and for the listening and viewing audience? So, they tagged you. You were a free agent.
I was going to be a free agent, and they hit me with the franchise tag to give us more time to get the deal done. So
prior to the tag, were you allowed to, or your agent pitch you to other teams?
No. So here's what happened. Here's what happened. So I was coming up, and these other teams were doing their research as well. So he would get calls from
Got you.
other teams about interest. If I can be up, if this, if that. I felt like I could have went to another team. I felt like I could have went to a team like I could have went to a team like Philly at the time. Westbrook was on his last, he's older now. He was on his last little leg at the time. He had Ryan Moats. Then he was there. Yeah, Buckhalter was there. They was trying to do a whole bunch of them. So they was there, and I think I could have got that type of, I think I could have got 35, 45, $50 million from any one of those other teams. But the Giants franchise me, so when I have a chance to hit the market to give them more time to get our deal done.
Gotcha.
Right. I didn't want to be anywhere else. I wanted to be in New York. I never even planned on being anywhere else. So none of the other stuff was even realistic for me, because if I didn't get the deal done with the Giants, it was going to franchise me and just give me $7 million a year for 1 year, and then I get a chance to test the free agency the year after, which is not a given. Which I can't. I rushed for 1,000. While I was splitting time, I rushed for 1,000. So I felt like if I could have kept that franchise tag, they would have had to give me something different. They would have to give me something different coming into it the next year.
But players don't want to be franchise tagged, right?
Whereas I was cool with it, because it was $7 million, is what I was making. But just that 1 year, right after I signed my deal, I got a signing bonus and my first year salary. That ended up being almost $8.5 million I got the first year, and then you had to turn around and play the regular $4 million a year that next year, which for me it could have been $8 or $9 million over 4 or 5 years from another team.
You. That would have been something. That would have been something if you suited up with the Eagles. We would not.
So they was asking. They all was interested in bring me to their team. The Baltimore Ravens was as well. The Tennessee Titans was as well. They was as well. The Seattle Seahawks at the time as well. They were talking and asking, and the Oakland Raiders.
What year was this? 2009, 10?
This was 2009. Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the running backs. Those when you mentioned, I guess Tennessee probably had Chris Johnson at the time.
Yeah, Chris Johnson at the time, and they was going to have to bring him up.
What about Seattle?
They wanted a bigger bat at the time.
Yeah, Seattle had Marshawn.
Seattle had they got Marshawn, but then it was coming in. He was getting there. He was in his third year, I think, at that time. It was 2007, 2008. Yeah, so he was in his third season there, and they weren't sure what they were going to do with him, I guess. But these are all the teams that reached out.
Wow.
To see what it was going to get me there. So it was what it was. I wanted to be with the Giants. I just won a Super Bowl there. I wanted to be there, so I took the 4-year, $28, $29 million deal they offered him. It was $13 or $14 million guaranteed or something of that nature. I ended up getting, it was like 13, 14. In the first 2 years, I ended up making 19 or something like that. 18 or 19 million or something like that. So it was good.
Oh, of course it was. And then you wound up winning another ring. You mentioned, I was thinking about this too with Ward, because he signed that contract with Tampa Bay?
Mm-hmm. Signed a contract with Tampa Bay. At the same time, I took a cut for the Giants to redo Ahmad.
Interesting.
So I took that cut for them to redo Ahmad, and then the next year, I think they wanted to redo somebody else and came back for more money. I'm like, you know what? I want to know what it's like to play somewhere else. And that's when the whole thing went the way it went.
Who was your coach in San Fran at the time?
Jim Harbaugh.
You didn't like that experience?
No, the experience was good, man. And I'm going to say I really enjoyed being over there, but I felt like I was a little bit, me and Mario Manningham was over there together, but the weather was great. The area was great. I had a lot of stuff to do. Some of the team was cool. They had the little pockets and cliques. Sometimes I sit and talk. Pat Willard, was cool. I got a chance to get close to Frank and, get a chance to, know him. And I was a 49er fan growing up. So my running back coach was Tom Rathman. So that was a big deal. So I was really good with that. I really enjoyed it there. Just things when I got hurt in the preseason, I think I should have went on IR, and they didn't put me on IR. They just put me on the shelf and just told me we're gonna make you act. I felt like I was good, but they just put me on the shelf and I didn't really like it. I wasn't used to it. So I never could get used to anything because I was always inactive.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
I practice hard though. I practice hard every day, until one time Jim told me I have to come out. Don't come out. So I didn't go out there. I'm like, all right, go. So it was what it was, man. It was a good experience nonetheless, but bad at the same time. Got a chance to, play for a different team. Got a chance to meet, some new teammates, and had a chance to be in a different city.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Well, that, as we talked about, comes with the politics of the NFL, right? I mean,
Absolutely, absolutely.
those are the things
It
they don't,
is.
they sit there and say, oh, these guys make millions of dollars, but peel back the onion a little bit, right?
Yeah, they don't. The people that say that don't have no idea. The people that feel like athletes get paid so much money, they have no idea what athletes truly go through. And sometimes the money that athletes get is not enough because it's more than you have.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not enough for some of the stuff these guys go through. So I hate when people say that. It kind of pisses me off because they don't know what people put their bodies through to be able to last, to entertain them. So it kind of makes me mad a little bit.
But to be fair, they're coming from a fan standpoint. Like I get it, covering the league, being in locker rooms, covering you guys, building a rapport and relationship with you and other players. I get where you're coming from. Many, many moons ago, before I was really entrenched in media and broadcasting and whatnot, sure, as a younger fan, you're like, come on, man, play hurt, right? But I get it. I think it's because when you played, I think the players were, even going back to the early 2000s, the 90s, and even before, the players were tougher.
Mm-hmm.
They were tougher. And now I still blame social media too, to be honest, right? They come on, they sprout, they bark back and forth. Now you have a platform where fans can go back at them. You see the ones that are sensitive, the ones that aren't sensitive. And some of them just don't want to play, right? Hurt, or they don't want to play injured. And if I'm spending X amount of dollars buying the merchandise, going to the game, taking a family of 4 or 5, I want to see these guys out there. But I totally understand. I think it's a lazy take and statement when we hear that, right? Oh, these guys make millions of dollars, shut up and play, or, get up 9 to 5. I mean, I can't imagine, the time you spent, where players have spent in their lifetime in a gym.
I played hurt, Rich.
Yeah,
I played hurt.
I know you
played
did.
draining my knee twice a week to get out there and practice and get it done.
I know.
You know what I don't understand though, Rich? It's 82 games in the NBA. The load bearing thing kills me when guys don't play when they're not hurt. It's still load bearing purposes.
The load management. The load management.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a crock of shit. If you're back to back and you're, say, like a LeBron at this stage of his career, but years ago the Spurs used to do it with the big 3, right? And then everyone on Popovich, because I'm going to the game, I want to see these guys. I don't want to see them sit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that killed me. That load management is like, wait, you're not really hurt?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine.
I mean, I guess I'm just used to Michael Jordan, man. Michael Jordan will go out there with a leg, with his leg separated. He will go out there. He will try to give you what you want to see. He will continue, and work hard and try to still encourage everybody else. Jordan missed games early in his career, but as he got older, he didn't miss any games.
No, he hurt his knee.
It wasn't his load management.
No, he tore his knee, I think his first or second year, whatever it was. And then 86, 87, we saw Bird used to just basically lay on the floor because he couldn't stand with his back.
Mm-hmm.
Pat Ewing had 2 bad knees and he was getting up and down the floor. It's just a different mindset and era, man, because the money now is ridiculous. I mean, it's absurd, the money these guys are making. I'm not saying players don't deserve it. That's not what I'm saying, but you have to give me an honest effort.
Absolutely.
That's all. As a fan, That's all I would ask for. Even if you stink up the joint. Like my rationale now when I'm watching the Giants is this is great that they're winning, but just play hard.
Play
Like,
hard every snap.
that's it. And if you lose, I'm okay with it. But not a couple years ago, a 3rd and 33 in the friggin' rain against the Rams, where you give up 35 yards on a 3rd and 33. That
No
is
effort, no effort.
yes,
Just out there making sure you got
correct.
11 on the field.
Correct.
Right.
That makes me say to hell with these guys. I can't root for them anymore. I can't.
Right. I get you. I get it. I totally understand.
So
That pisses you off more than anything. That type of game, when you feel like you got the offense pinned, 3rd down and 30 something, and then you go and you give up
horrible.
30, just enough yards to get the first down.
I don't even want to think about that game. I think that was Shermer. That was a Shermer game. Ugh. See, now you're making me. Now I got to go to therapy. I don't want to talk about that.
I heard they're bringing Shermer back though.
Who?
I'm just joking.
Please, I don't even know. I think, is he with Denver? I don't even know. I don't care. All right, give me. We got 5 this weekend. So B's best bets from our good friends over at Spooky Express. You got all your bet promos, you got your odds, you got your previews. Give me 5 in the NFL. Let's talk about those for a couple minutes.
Chiefs, 49ers, Steelers, Dolphins. Tua's supposed to be back. I heard his talk bringing him back.
Yeah,
this week. The Ravens and the Buccaneers. Got that one.
all right.
And you got and always the Jets. I want to see what the Jets do. The Jets are playing Broncos in Denver. And
You can have the Giant game if you want it.
no, I'm not gonna have the Giant game.
Right.
Let's go with the Saints Cardinals.
That's a Thursday night, right?
Yeah, Thursday
All
night.
right.
I'm picking.
What do you got?
I got the Saints beating the Cardinals in Arizona.
You have the same. All right, so Arizona's laying.
I'm sorry,
2.
the Ravens does not play Tampa Bay this weekend.
No, Baltimore plays the Browns. AFC
Right, is the Bucks Panthers.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go with the Baltimore Browns, and I'm gonna take the Browns in that one.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the Jets. I'm gonna take the 49ers.
Yep.
And that's it. Oh, I'm gonna take the Dolphins, and I'm gonna take the Dolphins over the Steelers.
So you like
Tua first game back.
New Orleans, the Browns, the Jets, the 49ers, and Miami.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So all right. So Arizona's laying 2. That coach should be on the hot seat. I don't trust Murray. I actually think that game could potentially be a little more of a high scoring game. So I'm going to lean with you. I like New Orleans in that one. You mentioned the Browns and the Ravens. I can't.
What's the line on it?
Right now, Baltimore's laying 6. You think Cleveland's going to win outright, or you think Cleveland's going to
people take the Browns. Take the Browns in this one.
On the road, AFC North, Baltimore's
they play there every single year.
What is that?
Every year they play there.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I think maybe they cover rivalry game. I'm just looking at Baltimore, bad loss against. Yeah.
Those road games.
Yeah.
And in the division isn't as hard as you think. You go there every year.
Yeah, but they're competitive games typically, right?
Oh yeah, they are competitive games. Don't go with the Browns though. I'm gonna take the Browns just because they got the running game. They got a good running game.
Jets in Denver, I agree. Jets in Denver, I agree 100%. That line right now is 1. To me, that's a pick 'em. Jets go on the road, 405. Denver has all types of issues. Wilson's banged up. They can't get the offense going. I think now they're going to give more carries to Gordon, which every time he touches the ball, he friggin' fumbles. That's a prime.
You know something? Do you know he took less money to go to Denver just to play against the Chargers?
Really?
Yeah.
So that was like I want to stick it to him.
Yeah, I'm going to stick it to you. He took less money to go there. When I heard that, I'm like, that is the most idiotic thing anybody can do. Why would you do that?
I mean, I find that wow. And the Chargers have a pretty good. That kid Eckler's a pretty good player.
Eckler Also, he's running the ball really well. They got this new thing that's coming out, man. That's called Mojo. It's Mojo. So it's something. It lets you buy shares of your favorite NFL player,
Okay.
right? And that's what it lets you buy shares so you can go out and buy your player,
Okay.
and you actually win. Like it's like an investment.
So they
So
trend
whatever the
up or
stock
down like
is,
a stock. They
whatever the
trend up or
stock is
down.
in that player, that's what you really get. And it's called Mojo. So y'all go check it out. So people go check it out. It's something new that they just came out with. I got Joe Burrow. I bought Joe Burrow
You already got in on it?
Bought Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence.
All right, so you got the 2 stud quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. Young guys, the price was pretty low with it. So yeah, that's where I'm going with it, man.
You mentioned Miami and
Miami is
Tua comes back this week. He should be coming back this week. Let me pull that up real quick. Actually, Miami's got Pittsburgh this week.
Mm-hmm.
So you got 2 teams basically trying to stay afloat in the AFC, right? I mean, Miami started 3-0. They've dropped 3 straight. They didn't have Tua for 2 games. I think when Tua is on the field, that offense is explosive, right?
It's different.
Waddle,
It's
Cohen,
different.
Gozecki, the tight end. I do like Miami in this spot. I definitely like Miami in this one. I'm going to go with the Giants, by the way, too. I think it'll be another ugly game, but I think the Giants are going to be able to force a couple turnovers, shoring up the field a little bit. This is the week Daniel Jones gets his 230, 250. He breaks 200 yards, but I do like the Giants in this spot. I won't be mad if they lose this game. I won't.
I'll be pissed. I'll be pissed. I'll be really pissed, but I don't even want to talk about that game, Rich, because it worries me. It worries me. That's why I have barely said anything about Giants and Jacksonville.
But it worries you in what way? You think it's a trap, a letdown?
I do. I think it's a lot of room there for a letdown. I think they got with 5-1 right now. I've seen it before, man. I've seen like in 2008, we were kicking everybody's ass and go to Cleveland, almost the worst team in the league, and we get destroyed.
Was a Monday Night Football? You guys got destroyed.
We got destroyed. It was like 35 to
10.
It killed us. So I don't like these type of games.
But that was early in the season, though. That was early in the season. I think you were 3-0, then went 3-1.
Yeah, I think it was week 4 or 5 or something like that. It happened.
Yeah. Different team, though. You're talking about a team coming off a Super Bowl and a team that's rebuilding.
Yeah, but Jacksonville is what, 4-2 right now?
No.
What are they?
Jacksonville doesn't have a winning record.
You sure?
Jacksonville? 2-4.
You sure about that?
Yeah. The team that you said has a horrible culture. 2-4.
2-4. But still, they're good. They're the best 2-4 team in the league. Then.
wait, but you would have played there because there's no state tax.
Oh yeah, there's no state taxes. They got grass. Body would have been feeling good after every game. The weather would have been great. I know a couple of people say the city sucks, but I would have been enjoying it.
Yeah, I remember when Hugh Douglas was with the Eagles and he took that monster contract and he basically was like, he kind of paraphrased, steal money for that year. I think he had 1 sack.
Wow. That happens, man.
I can't believe you're not even gonna have a pick on that Giants game, man.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna leave it alone. I just want to get out of this week and be okay. That's all.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that kind of getting out of the pick, but whatever. I'm okay with that. I'll let you get away with it. All right. We had to bring it back. We've been bombarded with so many guests over the last couple of weeks. We got our 27 seconds with number 27. All right. Speaking of letdown, so to speak, give me a game or two. Oh, we got to officially set the clock. All right. Give me a game or two that you would have considered a big letdown game in your career. Doesn't have to be individual, can be a team loss.
The Cleveland game, I just told you in 2008, big time letdown. And then we went to Seattle in 2006 or 7 when Jay Feely missed those kicks. Those 2 games right there killed, just was the worst. I hated those 2 games.
Does this team at all, in any way, shape, or form, resemble 2007 or 2011?
No, I don't think so. We score points. We score a lot of points, and we played good defense. We just was so inconsistent. I don't think it reminded, I think, no, not at all.
Totally different apples and oranges.
Totally different.
Someone
Yep.
just, this is, my guy, G fan wanted to know on Twitter. All right. Here's one for you. Because you were at that game last week, Tennessee and Bama. Bama's 21.5 favored over Mississippi State. I think Mississippi State is ranked 14th. Does Bama cover?
No, they don't cover. Bama does not cover. Mississippi State can score points, and the best thing about it is, Rich, I'll be in the building again.
You going to?
Man, listen, it's so good having a son that's highly recruited. It's awesome. And I have 2 kids here that's highly, we adopted one, obviously, and we got my son. So my son is 6'6", 315, 320, and Nick is 6'8", 340, 345, and they come here for them all the time. So that's 4 tickets that we get to every game, whatever game we want to go to. It's awesome.
How big is Braden? How big?
6'6", 317, 318, something like that. And Nick is 6'8", 340 something. And they're both 10th graders.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Everybody wants them, and it's awesome. We go to all of these games.
They probably eat you guys out of house and home, man.
They don't. They don't. If you make it available to them, they'll eat it. But if you want to be an athlete, you want to be able to go to the league, and you want to be able to get the best out your body.
Got to eat the right
best in your body, right? Don't you don't put shit in your body and expect to get diamonds out. Don't do that. There's a reason I'm 40 and still look like this.
Listen, we saw that in the beginning, right? NBA real quick. Would you start a franchise with Luka or Ja Morant?
Ja Morant.
By the way, Luka's, I think, 5-1 against him in his career, but I'll just leave it at that. See, I don't know if you saw these. So Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad?
Breaking Bad.
Did you ever see Better Call Saul?
No, but Breaking Bad was just that damn good. What's it called again? Better
Call Saul.
S-A-U-L. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, Breaking Bad.
All right. You're going on the record saying the Lakers are going to win the NBA title.
I'm going on the record and saying I want the Lakers to win the NBA title.
Oh my God, friggin' hedging your bet. So then who comes out of the Eastern Conference?
Brooklyn.
All right. This is a good one. Apollonia or Vanity?
Here's a good one. I'm lost.
Really?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, this is horrible. See?
You might want to cut that one.
Did you ever see the movie Purple Rain?
I'm not real big on movies, man. I didn't see Purple Rain.
Apollonia and Vanity. I mean, 2 just goddesses. Now I got to send you the screenshots. I hate when I catch you off guard like this.
Yeah, you catch me off guard like that.
No, you can't answer.
You said goddesses?
Yeah, you can't answer. You can't answer because you don't know these 2 women existed. That's
so
not
good. So when you say goddesses, like you mean like tall?
They beautiful. Were gorgeous actresses. When we're done, text your guys. Say Q said Apollonia or Vanity. And I guarantee you one of them will turn around and drop a name. They will say which one. You have to watch Purple Rain. You have to watch the classic, The Last Dragon. You have to watch these movies.
Yeah, man, I'm going to tell you, the last movie I watched was Morbius.
Was what?
Morbius. I don't really watch movies like that. Movies don't really move me like that. I mean, if I'm going to watch a movie, I'm going to go watch like Harlem Nights or something like that. Life or something like that. I'm not really a fan of like a lot of stuff out there.
You'll watch Harlem Nights and you'll watch Life, but you won't watch Coming to.
Yeah. Coming to America to me is just stupid. It's a dumb movie. It's
Trading
stupid.
Places was on the other night.
Yeah, like that's I don't sit and watch TV like that much.
I got to. I understand. I got my list of shows I have to go through. So, all right, last one for you. Give me an upset this weekend in the NFL. Give me one upset game.
One upset game. I'm gonna go with the Lions over the
Cowboys?
Cowboys.
Dak, I think, is coming back.
That's probably why they're gonna lose.
He's better than Cooper Rush.
I think so too. But
That
just
line
people
is-
know. But it's not the fact that he's better or not better. Well, I say what I say. Just people know what to prepare for. That's it.
Yeah, that's true.
People know what to prepare for. People still don't know the downfall of Cooper Rush. You know, you put pressure on his ass, he's gonna break. That's what we couldn't do.
Right.
That's what the Eagles did. They got after him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm
you're right on
going
that
with
one.
Detroit over the Cowboys this week. As
All
my
right.
upset.
Not to make mental note, I'm disappointing in some of your answers with this 27 seconds with number 27.
Oh man, I am.
And
so
by the way,
upset.
and first of all, now I got a bone to pick right now, and I know we're tight on time. So I wore my limo shirt the other day, and you still kept yours top button.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I button my top button for one reason. When you button, so let me show you. It's a different story. Like to me, see that it's open, the collar's open.
Yeah.
You know, you see, it's totally different, right?
Yeah.
I button it. When I button the shirt, when I button the top button on my shirt, it shows my physique better.
I mean,
Shows my physique better. It brings the shirt tighter because you bring in the fabric.
Yeah.
You see everything a little bit better when you button the top button.
We came full circle. We started the show with your devilishly handsome good looks, and we end the show
with my physique.
This guy over here. All right. Have fun this weekend. No high school football coaching though?
Yeah, we got high school football. We had a bye last week. We got Whitfield Academy, who's pretty good. They got a guy going to North Carolina who's really good. I think they got another guy going to Arkansas, something along the line. Really good football team. It's going to be a tough one for us to win. You know, they're a little older than what we are, but, you know, I think we have the proper pieces in the right place to be able to pull it out, you know. So we're going to see a good football team now.
All right. We'll have a good luck with that. Enjoy the game. And then we got the Giants and the Jags, 1:00 on Sunday, which is a good start, as always, for the devilishly handsome and charming two-time Super Bowl champion, former running back of the New York Football Giants.
Hey,
I'm Rich Quinones. Don't forget, everyone, check us out, 27NQ, Amazon, Spotify, podcast, Pod Addict, all over the place, YouTube channel, everything.
Get out there, check us out. We love y'all and appreciate y'all. Peace.
All right, brother. You have a good weekend. Always appreciate you, pal.
Yes, sir.
All right.